All right. It is Thursday, May 14th, 2020 at 4:58 p.m. All right, so guys, I had done this video once before and then I had finished it, I had recorded it, I had edited it, I had posted it up and everything, and then I realized when I played it that there was no audio. And then I looked over at my mic and it was unplugged. So that means that I recorded a 20-minute video, did all of the commentary, did everything, and then after I had uploaded, did I only realize that it wasn't, it didn't have any audio at all. So let's give this another try. Alright. Family says suspicious death in Ogden Canyon is woman they tried to report missing days earlier. So apparently, this mother and family said that there was something suspicious about this daughter's disappearance. They reported it to the police. The police said that all they could do was, see what they could find out. They didn't do anything more. The family got involved. They went and found out that the ex-boyfriend, somehow was involved. They reached out to neighbors and they found out that the ex-boyfriend somehow possibly could have murdered her. She ended up in a canyon. They're still looking into it. They still haven't arrested the suspicious, character or anything, but they pretty much did everything they could to try and solve this case. The parents themselves looking for the daughter, traced it back to the ex-boyfriend. The neighbors who were in the area recorded screaming and yelling, and they took pictures of the whole incident. So this does help in the sense that neighbors and family found out what happened to this person. And that's one of the key things when it comes to people missing or people possibly dead, is the family and the neighbors getting together and seeing what happens in that area. Sharing pictures, recordings, if they call the police or anything else. It does matter when you get involved in hearing suspicious noises or things happening around you. So please be aware and share, any information you have with the police if you hear really suspicious noises. You never know, you could be solving a murder. Alright, next. Whistleblower Bright warns against developing vaccine too quickly. The ousted vaccine experts believe the predicted timeline for developing a vaccine will take longer than 12 to 18 months. And this I totally agree with. They should take their time when making a vaccine, especially with something so dangerous that it could hurt so many people in the future if they don't get the vaccine right. If they just, pack it and ship it and send it out and not have the correct, testing, make sure that that doesn't harm people, then it's something that's really dangerous. So it's really important for them to get it right. With this, I agree with. They need the vaccine to take longer than 12 to 18 months to get everything done and everything properly tested with it. Alright, next. Expert swimming pool facilities water unlikely to spread coronavirus. So if you're going to go swimming, pay attention to this. Pools across the U.S. are set to reopen in the coming weeks. If recommended chlorine levels are maintained as usual, the pools themselves should pose minimal risk to spreading the coronavirus to swimmers, says a Purdue University engineer who studies pool water decontamination. For indoor pools, the greater risk for coronavirus spread would include poor air circulation, crowds, and contaminated surfaces such as handrails. So that's something to keep in mind when you're noticing if you're swimming. If you're swimming, is it an indoor pool or is it an outdoor pool? If it's an outdoor pool, you are less likely to get contaminated. If it's an indoor pool, you are more likely to get contaminated because not only the surface areas on the handrails and things like this, but also the air circulation system. The air circulation system could trap the virus and keep spreading it continuously, sort of like in a cruise ship. The air being circulated, being one circuit closed, meaning that it's not sharing any other air vents or anything. It could, if it's a closed circuit like that in a pool, it could affect the possibility of you getting higher risk of coronavirus. Says pools across the U.S. are set to open in the coming weeks. It could pose a minimal risk to spreading the coronavirus to swimmers if it's poor air circulation, crowds, if it's a really crowded pool, that is another factor, and contaminated surfaces such as handrails. So make sure that they clean the area properly. The handrails are cleaned often. So guys, if you're going swimming this summer or this spring, make sure you keep that in mind in the back of your head. Alright, next. Mexico's cartels distribute coronavirus aid to win popular support. Alright, so Mexico's cartels are having trouble distributing drugs because the coronavirus is shutting down borders, it's shutting down airplanes, so it's not easy to get across borders with these drugs. So what they're turning to do is help the communities around them, and that's supposedly trying to win popular support from the people in Mexico. That's something that the cartels are doing. Alright, also, coronavirus and narcotics. Can drug cartels survive COVID-19? Can these cartels survive not being able to spread their drugs all over the place because of the COVID-19? That's something that will be seen. Also, everyone is doing badly. Anti-money laundering SAR warns. So pretty much the money laundering that comes with these drug cartels isn't getting done because there's no circulation of travel. So they can't get to money laundering all these supposed drugs that are being sold, and there's not really a lot of drugs being sold because of the COVID and the block of travel, so a lot of this money laundering is not getting done. I had seen a post earlier about California and LA. They found stacks and stacks of money that was unlaundered just laying there, and they arrested the people involved with this, but it's showing a sign of the times that because of the COVID, they can't get the laundering done. Alright, next, let's head into Space River News. Alright, this is the Gulf of Mexico right now. That's one of the pinned pictures I had. Let's see, a 1.97 earthquake off Hawaii an hour ago. So Hawaii has been, in the past couple of days, been rattling off smaller quakes. Alright, also, a slight ever margin of severe weather in Oklahoma. There's a very small margin there. There's a slight severe weather larger on the the eastern side of the United States, but for Oklahoma it's a tiny, tiny sliver there. Alright, 30-second goes showing severe thunderstorm development in southwest Oklahoma. Look at that, the storm's just bubbling up in Oklahoma. Alright. Also, GFS ensembles have pushed their chips all in regarding the development of the Atlantic subtropical disturbance in the coming days. At face value, this could be the first Atlantic name system of 2020. I heard recently that it was called 90L, Invest 90L, so that's what we're going with. That's what the latest news on that front is, and here is what the possible travel of this system could be off into the Atlantic, off from northern Cuba, affecting the Florida Keys and the Florida Miami area, the southeastern area, and then over the Bahamas and parts of Cuba. Alright, so those are the areas that will be affected with that. And here we have the Blue Angels flying over Little Rock, Arkansas. Appreciation of the frontline heroes. Thank you. And here is the picture of the Blue Angels flying over Arkansas. That is pretty sweet. Alright, then we have severe pictures of meteorological unremarkable storms that happened, of plenty of photo ops. So apparently it wasn't that developmental in Oklahoma, but it did end up with some sweet pictures. Here is the lightning and the storms. Alright, and then we have upgraded enhanced risk of severe storms in the area of Boston, New York, Upper State, Albany. We have severe outlook in these areas. Alright. Then we have a beautiful turquoise sea in Campania, Italy. Just wanted to share this beautiful picture. Look at that water. That is so amazing. All right. Also, we have in 2020, yesterday, near Elk City, Oklahoma, about 7:52 p.m., got a ride storm chasers for photo ops. You see a shelf cloud here hanging out in Oklahoma, in Elk City. All right. Now we have Invest 90L. Here is the picture north of Cuba. Invest 90L. All right, and then we have a 1.31 earthquake northwest of Geysers, California. That was an hour ago. So we have smaller quakes rattling off. We also have Alabama Mississippi state line basically serving as a cutoff point for rain today. Scattered showers and storms are happening across Mississippi. All right. Then we have the first reconnaissance plan of the year is out. 2 flights scheduled for the possible subtropical cyclone near the northwest of the Bahamas. Too early for this by Eric Blake on Twitter. So pretty much they already have 2 flights scheduled to check out the storms from the National Hurricane Center tomorrow. Alright, 40 years ago today, people pushed the state to reopen areas of Mount St. Helens, citing tourism and the economy against advice of scientists. 5 days later, the volcano erupted. And that's something to think about when we want things to open so quickly and citing against what scientists are saying. That's something to keep in the back of our minds. Alright, AccuWeather meteorologists are closely monitoring this system, which could become a tropical storm system this weekend. You see the clouds as it's developing over southern Miami, Cape Coral, parts of Fort Lauderdale. Alright, the rain's heading for Florida. Alright, meanwhile, Subtropical Thingy is starting to organize near the Keys. I love how Jim Cantore calls it a subtropical thingy. He's already making fun of this. He's like, the subtropical thingy is starting to reorganize near the Keys. Let's take a look at his comments. Let's see here. Lol, you could start calling them subtropical thingies from now on. I was getting ready to say, was that a scientific term? And Jim Cantore is saying he's already prepping 3 a.m. Monday through Friday. He's already prepped and ready. Alright. And then here we have Storm Chaser Nick with a gif, not a gif, a meme of Michael Jordan looking out at the New York and Massachusetts area of the severe weather, with a shocked look on his face. Yes, they have severe weather coming in the Northeast. If you live in the Northeast, you need to be prepared for the severe weather threat tomorrow. We're keeping you updated during our live coverage. And of course, the Weather Channel has this thing called Torcon, which means the possibility of tornadoes developing from 1 to, I think, possibly 6 or something like that. Oh, they have a 10 here. 1 through 10 as a max threat, a possibility of tornadoes. And they have it here as a 3, a Torcon of 3 for the Boston, Albany, and New York state area. And then they have as a Torcon of 2 for the statewide Philadelphia, New York, Lebanon. So the outer ring is a lower Torcon. Of course, this is not a meteorological term. It's just something that the Weather Channel invented. So if you ever ask a meteorologist about the Torcon, they'll just look at you like you're crazy. Alright, next. Yikes, venomous blue dragons wash up on Texas beaches. So something else to keep an eye on if you live in Texas. And if you're in the beaches area, there's blue dragons which are poisonous washing up on the beaches. So keep an eye on that. You don't want to get stung or poisoned by those. Alright, then we have beautiful pictures here of Beetlejuice and pictures here of the rings of Saturn taken by Cassini. Then we also have a mini dirt devil just popping up in the area, tiny tornado just developing. And also we have the Schumann resonance today. This is 3 hours ago. Let's take a look at the Schumann resonance. So we have some higher frequencies coming into the planet right now. It's not a major high frequency, but it is small, higher burst of energy happening. This is how the Schumann frequency works. The white on the scale means that it's really high frequency affecting the planet Earth right now. This is the frequency of the Earth vibrating at a higher frequency. The lighter blue and the darker blue mean that it is calmer. So there's not high frequency happening on the planet. Alright. Next, Florida forestry officials reporting 73 wildfires burning 10,000 acres across the state. Here is a map of the larger ones, 100 acres or more. Low humidity, dry vegetation, and strong winds are fueling it all. We're tracking it. So here are some of the fires happening in the Florida area right now. Hopefully the two lower ones by the Miami and the National Forest down there near the Keys get to be quenched by 90L. Hopefully that brings enough rain down there that it covers that area. And then also got lucky again on my run again this evening and witnessed a fantastic double rainbow going across the sky over Monterey Bay. Here is a picture of a double rainbow. That's beautiful. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news and more headlines. Remember, it's 90L now that's developed in the area above Cuba and below Florida. We'll keep an eye on that. Any more videos will be coming out if anything else develops in that area. Hit like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. God bless.